We'll start our journey with this. This is the Vivo X50 Pro, and I have to say, Vivo, hats off. You know, once in a blue moon, a company comes in with an innovation that really, absolutely and totally startles you. You actually sit back and think, wow, is that really happening? Did they really think of doing this? Is this the kind of innovation that can come into a mobile phone, especially in the camera department? I'll tell you some of the things that they are doing with this one phone. First and foremost, and this is what when they sent us the invite, they even put that into the invite, and that is they've mounted the lens onto a gimbal. You know what a gimbal is? A gimbal is what professionals use. I mean, there are many. DJI has some of them. Ronin is one of the ones that they actually use. The Osmo and many other companies actually have a gimbal. Professionals use it to actually get the most stable video they can actually possibly get, and that's what they've been able to put inside a phone. Inside a phone, the lens is mounted on a gimbal system, and the gimbal actually really works well. They didn't just stop with the most stabilized. They then went into something else that is very important for us, and that is low light photography. The kind of innovation, the kind of stuff they've been able to put into this is also quite amazing. Even more interesting is the fact that there are two phones that have come out. This is the X50 series, the Vivo X50, that's the Pro. And normally when a company comes out with something like this, they make this big mistake where the difference between the normal phone and the Pro phone is not much. Here, there's a very sensible distinction. So let's take a look at both the phones. And once again, may I just say, Vivo, well done.
With not one but two flagships in their kitty, Vivo has made a splash this week with their X50 series. With some serious design improvements and a camera that boasts of gimbal capabilities, Vivo has taken a leap to the mid-premium segment. The X50 and the X50 Pro look nearly alike, yet have some key differences. Let's take a detailed look at the phones and find out the X factor here. The Vivo X50 sports a 6.56-inch AMOLED display. It's a beautiful display that keeps the colors real. There's a punch hole design in the front, and the screen supports HDR10+ and has a 90Hz refresh rate. The X50 Pro has exactly the same screen, and both phones do well here. In terms of design, the X50 comes with a frost blue and glazed black color. The finish does look frosty in the blue edition and radiates different hues under the light. The X50 Pro comes in this single alpha grey finish. It looks premium in the hand. The frosted finish ensures less smudges on the back. The screen supports an in-display fingerprint scanner which works as promised on both the X50 and the Pro. As the world moves towards wireless earphones, Vivo has not included a 3.5mm jack in the phones. The X50 is pretty fast with a Snapdragon 730 chipset. This, coupled with an 8GB RAM, gives the X50 its boost. It did okay with heavy games that we tried on the phone. Vivo goes a step ahead with the X50 Pro here, and there's a Snapdragon 765G chipset powering it. This is the first smartphone in India to bring this chip. It's super fast, and the phone did well with multitasking and Call of Duty. The X50 Pro houses a 4315 mAh battery. It's not a heavy phone, and the phone lasted us more than 1 day of heavy use. The Vivo X50 brings a 4200 mAh battery. It lasted us a day, and the charger was quick to juice up the phones. Both phones come with a 33-watt flash charge. Both the X50 and the Pro run on FunTouch OS 10.5 on top of Android 10. They do well, and there's hardly any bloatware. Before we get to the big optics highlight of these phones, let's take a look at what you'll have to shell out to buy these beauties. The Vivo X50 starts at 34,999 rupees for the 8GB RAM and 128GB storage variant, and the 8GB RAM 256GB storage variant is priced at 37,999 rupees. The slightly more premium Vivo X50 Pro is priced at 49,990 rupees for the 8GB RAM and 256GB storage variant. And now for the camera prowess. Vivo has brought the new Sony IMX598 sensor to both the phones. The sensor is mounted in a new gimbal system on the X50 Pro, and Vivo's innovative invite for their launch event comprised of just this Sony sensor. The X50 Pro comes with a 48MP Sony sensor combined with an 8MP super wide-angle camera, a 13MP depth camera, and an 8MP telephoto lens that enables 60x hybrid zoom. There are so many modes to play around with. The Sony IMX598 lights up low-lit shots, and even a night shot comes out really well. There is a Super Night Mode 3.0 and Extreme Night Vision and even a specific Astro Mode to shoot different subjects at night. Vivo goes all out here with night photography and the results were stunning. The portraits we shot with this were very clear, and using the 60x hyper zoom, we got good detail in the shots. Movement shots is where the gimbal comes into play and gives a sturdy capture. The shorter exposure mode kicks in and the videos are really smooth thanks to this. On top of this, there's an audio zoom feature and 3D sound tracking, which is useful for creators. The X50 on the other hand doesn't have the gimbal system but brings the same Sony sensor as the primary camera with 48 megapixels, an 8 megapixel secondary sensor with a super wide angle lens that has a 120-degree field of view, a 5 megapixel macro shooter and a 13 megapixel bokeh shooter. It supports 20x digital zoom. The shots were very clear and the camera stands out in the phone. Low light shots with this Sony lens are mighty impressive. All in all, Vivo throws a punch with its X50 series. If you love making videos on the go, then the X50 Pro is your best bet. With a stable camera and many camera tricks, it will serve well. The Vivo X50 climbs down the price ladder and gives a good overall experience. The battery life and performance of both phones are very good, but it is the camera prowess that stands out.